Okay.
It says
We're
live.
live.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See? Now we have to figure out how to find it on YouTube as well, though.
Feel like
a treasure hunt.
Oh, I see us. We're there.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hello. Yay. Yeah. We did it.
Kathy's here.
Hi, Kathy. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I gotta mute it. Okay, there it goes.
Yeah, don't forget to mute it. That can cause some serious problems.
I'm gonna put it on the Twitter really quick, just in case anybody else.
Oh, good call.
Yeah,
Kathy was an Instagram winner, weren't you, Kathy?
Kathy might not know that yet.
She commented on her thing. Oh, good. I checked.
I have a crown.
Alice is here.
Yay!
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do a little sneaky promo video for Instagram and Twitter and stuff as well. Get more people to join us.
Oh, teastainedpages. Hello.
So if everyone wants to say hi, everybody.
Maybe not, Kathy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a liar. Don't ever believe me.
Classic. We're live on YouTube, so you should come and watch us. And we're also talking to Kathy, so that's fine.
TeastainedPages. That's a cool name. Isn't it? I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's cute. She's my video challenge winner, too.
Yeah, I was gonna make her one of my challenge winners, and she had already won. I was like, oh, good.
Mm-hmm. So, what shall we chat about?
What do you want to start with?
So
hi, Luna.
Hi.
Does everyone want to officially announce who their winners are or anything?
Well, we could do that. That's good. Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
I mean, they probably know who we are, but
I mean, they might know who we are, but it might be a good idea still.
Yeah. For future people who maybe watch this someday.
At a later date, right?
Yeah.
People, why are they talking about weird things?
Well, I'm Derby from Derby Lane Reading. And you can never believe anything I say, but I love you anyway.
Are we not supposed to believe that, though?
Us. Too true. Okay, well, I'm Jasmine from Novel Thoughts. And it is early in the morning here, so forgive me if I'm not very vibrant.
You're beautiful and vibrant always. True. You can't believe that, though. That was me. That was honest. Serenity Dawn's here.
Oh, yay, hi! I'm Reggie from Don't Stop Reading.
Mm-hmm. I'm Vanessa from Paper Fairy, and I have a cat.
And I'm Chelsea Palmer, and I also have a cat. So there's that.
So many cats.
I don't have any cats.
Do you guys have
Neither
cats
do I.
at home? Like in the chat?
Rabbits.
Any pets?
Along with the cats. If I had cats.
Well, you have something cooler than a cat, though.
Me?
Yeah.
I guess. She's okay. She did eat my internet, so I'm not very happy.
Aww.
I wouldn't be happy either.
Yeah, so I'm currently at my partner's place because there's no internet at my house because my rabbit decided to eat it.
Oh.
Don't get it about it. Hey, people! Kathy has to visit her friends' pets instead of having her own. That's fine.
Oh. Aw, I have
Kathy, you can visit mine anytime. They love attention.
At least then you don't have to clean up after them and stuff like that.
So true.
Oh gosh, that's very true.
Yeah, so did you guys want to talk about like the challenges and stuff?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I could go first since mine was first, I guess.
Yeah, let's go in order of like challenge order.
Okay, so I went first, and challenge number 1 was to decorate your bookshelf. And everyone's bookshelves looked so cool. I really loved everyone's bookshelves. It was so hard to pick a winner. I really liked your guys' bookshelves too. But just like, there were so many more entries than I thought there would be.
There were so many.
Especially at the beginning. I was like, well, it's the beginning, and I'm asking people to go get like supplies and stuff to decorate their bookshelves. Like, there's going to be a few entries, but like, there were so many. And they were like, some were edited so cool, and like, it was so great. There was a lot of like lights, and like, there was some DIYs and like all kinds of cool stuff. I just had so much fun watching them. I watched all of them multiple times at this point. Since mine was first, like I watched them all when they like were coming in, and then I watched them like halfway through, and then I watched them a few days ago to make sure I was still like confident in my like top 3.
How did you even pick a top 3? I was like so stressed
There was-
about it.
it
I was
was
like, they're all
so
so
hard.
good.
You guys at home don't know, but like all of the girls here picked their winners first, which was super helpful for me because then I was like, oh, I was going to pick that person. Oh, they're already picked. Perfect. Oh, I was going to pick that person. Oh, there are. So, like, you guys just, like, knocked them off my list, which really helped. Like, yes. I only had, like, a few
We
more.
try really hard to like make sure that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Instagrams were so good. I cheated because my Instagram challenge last year was the same thing, the fall aesthetic. But I just loved the pictures last year so much that
It's
I
a
just
good one,
couldn't
too.
not do them again. Yeah, it was just, and they turned out so well. It was so much harder this year to pick because there were some like really high quality photos, and there was some photos that were like really creative, and there were some really like well thought out pictures. There were just so like a good variety of different kinds of pictures too, like spooky or like just like a hot beverage or just like so many things with books, without books. Really the one that won though went over the top because she had ballet flats that were Nightmare Before Christmas themed.
Yeah,
which was one of my movies, and I was like,
I want them.
I know, I want them too. I was like, yep, it's the shoes, 100% the shoes. Yeah. But I was surprised how many people, like, out of the bat were ready to participate. I was like, you guys are great, rocking it already.
Mm-hmm.
Who went next?
I think it's Stacy, but she's not here.
Oh yeah, that was Stacy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Stacy can't be here. Her internet sucks, unfortunately.
Yep.
Sad.
Do you
She did like a DIY.
Vanessa?
What?
Do you want to talk about her challenges for her then, maybe?
Yeah, sure. So she did, her video challenge was like a DIY out of book pages. And that one also had a lot of entries too, which I was surprised about too.
Because like book pages like makes it a little bit harder. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said it had a lot of injuries, and I was like, what?
You know, people were really stressed about ripping pages or something.
Just got anxiety breakdowns from having to move books and things.
Yeah, and then I believe she picked AWorldofWords for her winner.
No, that was my video winner.
I've lost track.
Oh,
I'm pulling her video up right now.
Okay. I don't know if she picked.
I don't
I just
remember.
watched it, but I can't remember because I'm mixing all of your winners like together. in my
Okay,
mind.
so
Everyone's a winner.
I don't know who won what, but On the Fritz won and Monica won. I think Monica won the video.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, Monica Fangirl, because she built like a village out of
Yeah, I remember that was so intense. It was great.
It put my pumpkin to shame.
I know, it put everything to shame. I saw it and I was like, man, so impressive. I could never do something like that.
That's cool.
And then her photo challenge was like a nighttime scene, which I thought was cool because we didn't do that last year. It was like a new
there were a lot
idea.
of cool entries for that.
There were.
Yeah. It was nice. I think people had to get kind of creative with it, so that was fun.
Because your like initial thought when taking pictures like good lighting, and then when you take it at night, you're like, oh, should I make it spooky? How do I make it clear still? Like you had to get really creative with it.
Yeah, but people did. They did really good.
They did some really cool things. I think I was next.
Then Jasmine. Yeah.
Yay! I was challenges number 3. And my YouTube challenge confused everyone. It was very It was supposed to be a spooky. I had so much fun with it, and everyone who did post videos for it eventually got it and thought that it was fun, but there weren't many entries, which made it very easy for me. I was kind of glad. I have forgotten who I did choose as a winner, though.
I think the title was misleading, but once like you explain it, and then of course I saw your video. I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of sum up in anything that's gonna fit on like a short explanation thing, because you like have to use a full sentence to be like, what you're doing is in places that are spooky and pretending that it's a tour. Oh, that's right. My video winner was Rainy Day Reading, who did the awesome Harry Potter themed tour, which was awesome.
Yeah, and she did a lot of other challenges.
She had, I was gonna say she had a lot of ones that I was like, oh, that would be a good one. I'm glad she won one.
And then my Instagram challenge was to draw the rest of a book cover as if it was a spooky scene, which gave some very, very interesting and hilarious pictures. I think like there was one that did like a spooky ghost sitting on the bench at the end of one of the Stephen King novels, which was really hilarious.
That's so cute.
But the winner was Canadian Book Lover, who drew that skeleton squid thing, which was awesome.
Right.
It was like the best drawing I've ever seen. I wish I could draw that well.
Yeah, that was one of those challenges where I was like, oh, I'm totally going to nail this. This is going to be great. I can totally draw. And as I was doing it, I was like, nope, I can't. Lesson learned.
I do the same thing every time.
People in the chat, Vanessa from World of Words and TeastainedPages were both saying that they thought the tour guide was like a fun challenge.
Yeah.
But TeastainedPages ran out of time.
Hi.
Hi. Well, my challenge was next, so I guess I'll talk about that, which is to make treats, because that's awesome. I forgot who it was, but someone did, and I mean, all of my videos were good, and I wanted everything, but there were a lot of good ones. Obviously, Serenity Dawn won my video challenge one, and one of them, like, one video was so hilarious, and I can't remember her name. I have to go look it up, but she made like spiced wine, and they were like drinking the wine the whole time they were doing it, and it was so funny.
Yes.
It was hilarious. And then what was the other one I liked? Someone made like healthy drinks, and then, you know, called them Halloween treats, which I thought was cool because I generally like to eat healthy. So that was kind of neat that she turned those into treats, because she's like a healthy eater, which was kind of neat.
It was Zariah, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then the Instagram ones were all good. There wasn't a bad one for the Instagram ones. I don't know how you guys take such fancy pictures. They're just so cool. They're so cool. And then Rachel won my Instagram one. What's her Instagram name? Rachel's Page Turners. Yeah. And it was cool because she put Agatha Christie's Halloween party on there with some candy and a pumpkin and all sorts of fall things. It was sweet.
Food challenges are always fun.
Yeah, I did that
tasty.
last year, and the winner was definitely someone who like made alcoholic beverages, and I was like, she was so funny in her video because she was drinking them as she was making them, and she's like, I'm just gonna do whatever and not gonna measure, and we'll see how this goes. It was just so funny. I was like, I was really glad when you said you're gonna do that one this year, because I was like, I can't do this again because I can't make anything, and I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea for me to host this challenge, but it's one of my favorites to watch.
Well, it's fun. I almost made alcohol, but then I was like, people are just gonna think I'm a drunk because I'm always drinking. Like, I just make brownies.
All right, so I was the next challenge, I think. Are we on
so,
5?
Too. Yeah.
Okay. So both my video and Instagram challenge, I kept it simple, were the bookish costumes. And this is like my first time hosting, and I was like really nervous to see if people would actually enter. And so many people did, and it was really exciting.
People get excited for costumes.
Yeah, costumes are awesome.
I know.
So true.
There were like so many good ones that people put like so much effort into either editing or just like the entire costume in general. And I was like, wow, you put more effort in than I did. So props.
Your video was so cute.
I know,
Okay.
with the
It was
goat.
so cute.
I mean, it kind of helps that I have like built-in props in my backyard.
True.
But my winner was Zariah. She had to win something, and her Feyre costume
So
was just like,
cool.
ugh. It was so good. Like, I saw that, and I was like, oh, well, there it is.
Yeah.
And Instagram is actually merelpotter, and it was like the first one that puppy. But it was a Newt Scamander one that was just like so
That's so
good.
smart.
Like, it was the first one that I saw, and I was just like, oh, that's like amazing. And again, way more effort than I put into my own challenge.
Yours was awesome, though. Yours was so funny.
Yeah.
It was the cutest. I loved it.
Oh, thanks.
Did you guys watch Cammy's Corners video for Chelsea's challenge?
Yeah, I think so.
She did like a Alice in Wonderland thing, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
had so much
All of the stuff.
Alice in Wonderland stuff.
The two of them.
They're all so
It
good.
was cool.
Mm-hmm. They were all so good.
It was tough to pick. And I also liked Rainy Day Reading. She did like a Hobbit, kind of like a modernized, like daily cosplay type Hobbit.
I know, and I totally would
Yeah.
have worn that outfit like regularly.
Right?
I would wear costumes every day. My mom frowns upon it for work, though. Me and my mom work together. She's like, you need to wear real clothes. Like when I wear yoga pants, she's like, okay, what's wrong with you?
But they're comfy.
They are comfy.
Yeah, then my challenge was the last one, and I did spooky stories, which I thought would be so fun, just to like tell some stories to each other. And people, I kind of left it open-ended, you know, because I wanted people to just do whatever they wanted. And some people did stories from like their own personal lives, which was really interesting to hear about some of like the crazy stuff people have experienced. And I really liked those videos. And I'm also like really grateful that so many people were willing to share that stuff. Because I know
Right.
sometimes that's like weird to talk about. So yeah. But I picked TeaStainedPages because she did like a dramatic reading from a story. And it was just so good and so cute, and I really liked it. But one that I also really wanted to mention was On the Fritz, because she did like a stop motion,
Oh, I saw that.
like red ribbon thing. That was so good. I can just imagine how much work she put into that, and it was so cool. But she had already been picked, so. And
Right.
like TeaStainedPages was just so good. So, like I said, you guys were all great.
She had.
Mhm. And then Instagram was Blackout Poetry, and I also got a lot of really cool entries for that. And I picked Paulina, P. Sanchez 820, I think, on Instagram, because she used a page from a textbook that had like an illustration on it, and it was a snake, and then she highlighted the words so that her poem had like a snake theme to it, and I just thought it was really cool that she used. Yeah, thought it was cool.
I didn't even notice. Like, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Very cool. Everyone is so creative.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what was like so much more fun than I originally thought it would be is like the movie watch-alongs, because I was like, how is this gonna work? Like,
that was like my favorite thing
but
ever.
They were awesome. They were so much fun.
Like, I want to do these all year long.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep it.
We can totally do this. It's fine.
I never got to join in on any of them because I was always at work every single time you did them. So it like wasn't even on a weekend where I could watch along. I was always working or something. But boy, did I have fun watching your tweets as they all especially for the movies that I knew. I was like, oh, I know what they're up to. I know what's right.
That was really fun for the reading sprints that I wasn't able to attend to just see all the tweets come through.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Everyone came up with such cool ideas for the reading sprints as well. I'm so
Mine was
impressed.
just like basic and boring. I'm like,
mine
read.
Mine too. You guys got
They
so
were so much
fancy.
fun.
I was like, meh.
No.
We need a bit of both. It's all about the balance.
Right.
So we had zombie fights and Halloween parties.
Right?
I remember because my sprint where I did the zombie fight one was like really last minute because I was filling in for Jasmine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do reading sprint. So I was like Googling like ideas before I did it. But
It turned out great.
Yeah.
It turned out awesome. And thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, of course. I'm kind of curious about like the movie watch-alongs. If anyone in the chat has any suggestions for other movies that they would maybe like to see next year or something.
Yes.
Hi, Cammy. We already talked about you.
Yeah,
We did.
Cammy, you missed us loving on you.
We'll have to talk later.
Oh, these dogs. Sorry, guys.
Girl of Yarn is my...
What?
I think Girl of Yarn has said the most honest thing ever in the chat, which I totally... I also talk as much as I tweeted.
Right?
I'm the one who always makes sarcastic, snarky comments about everything.
Oh, during shows, TV shows, I'm like the worst because, you know, like you're watching a whole season of something and I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense or whatever. Like Russell watching TV with me is probably like so annoyed all the time.
Joshana said that she didn't get to do any movie watch-alongs. I'm kind of also curious if those times that we picked were like
didn't work
for people. Yeah, I know that like obviously in different countries like we didn't manage to accommodate those time zones, but like for people here like East Coast, West Coast, was it okay?
Don't ask me.
We talked about doing Beetlejuice after the fact. We wish we would have done that one. That would have been a good one.
I feel like next year I might try and do one that's like a decent time for Australia, because I think if we do that, then people in England have more of a chance of being able to join in as well, because like that time is a bit more similar than the America way. But
that'd be
you
really
can only do like 2 out of 3. Like if you consider Europe, America, and Australia, you can only ever satisfy 2.
Yeah.
I'll stay up for yours, whatever, or get up for
if
yours.
it's on the weekend, I'll be fine.
Even if it's 2
Yeah, probably. Just stay up.
Yeah.
see. The story recommended Arsenic and Old Lace. I've never heard of that, but it sounds very intriguing. Has anyone seen that?
It does sound cool.
I don't know what that is.
I'm down. I'm down for it.
I could watch it.
You should do it.
It'd be cool to watch,
Yeah.
like, to host a movie watch along for a movie you haven't seen before.
That's true.
So it'd be like your like raw and real reaction.
I
I feel like
be like,
a lot of the time I was
also-
like queuing up messages though, like because I knew it was coming, but still.
I would
You know
watch a
what?
horror movie, like an actual scary movie, which would be hilarious, but I'd have to watch it at like noon because I'm not watching it at
Yeah,
night.
I was thinking about scary movies after the fact. I was like, or like Cabin in the Woods. I was like, oh, I should have done that because I watched it anyway.
That's fun.
All right, so Teastained Pages said her mom also suggests Arsenic and Old Lace.
Huh.
So that's two.
All right.
You've got to watch this.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think we
I
had a pretty
definitely
good
want to watch
mix,
the
though,
Adam
like,
Channel.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Adam's Family.
What if I just did it and sabotaged Halloween with Christmas by watching like Love Actually or something?
That'd be funny.
Aw.
Such an excellent Halloween host.
Although I'm really excited about your like holiday idea, your holiday readathon
Yeah,
that
it
you
happened.
suggested. You're working on it
Oh,
already?
Yeah. I'm really going to get all of the prompts and teams and things planned out before the Halloween one even started, because as soon as I sort of thought of it, I had to start planning it. So even though it's a little bit close to this one, I think it's going to happen. So
Oh man, someone already suggested doing holiday movie watch-alongs.
Oh yeah,
I
I
would-
love cheesy Christmas movies, you
Me
guys. Like,
Ooh.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
I like to, because I spend a lot of my weekends working on all of my tea company stuff, I tend to either listen to audiobooks or watch movies while I'm doing it. Just like work and listen to it in the background. And yesterday I watched 3 Christmas movies as I was working. Just one after the other. And they were all terrible. It was awesome. All the like awful Hallmark Christmas movies
Oh
that
my
have
gosh, yes.
what's her name from Mean Girls is in like all of them.
Right?
I can't remember her name. You know who I'm talking about. Her dad invented toast.
Yeah. I know.
yeah, Netflix. Oh, my Netflix in December is all like suggestions, all the cheesy, like the 1-2 star movies. Like,
Yes.
that's my jam.
For them.
The chat is just full of people like talking about Christmas movies now.
Teastained Pages said that she'll do a Christmas. If you do a Christmas one, she's gonna participate. So you've already
Yeah.
got a person.
Yes.
You've got me too.
Mm-hmm.
It's on.
And
I'm in.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Alice makes a good point that watching super scary movies for watch-alongs would be good because then we're like not alone. We have people with
That's
us.
true.
To,
Even if you are like
Scared.
alone, you're like talking to people through it.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone
that.
can scream together.
Yeah. Oh, Elf. Elf is a good movie.
Oh, Elf is such a good movie.
I love Elf.
Everyone is loving this Christmas idea. We're like,
Yeah,
we're off
right.
of Halloween already. Like, forget spooky
Christmas, we're on it.
Okay, I'm more than happy to. There'll be a couple of changes. I think there'll only be 14 this time because I think 4 is easier to keep track of than 5.
Mhm.
I like did 5 and then didn't even realize how much of a problem it was going to be until we were posting everything on Twitter, and you can only post 4 pictures at once. I'm like,
Oh, bummer.
Everything is just Twitter makes you do 4. That's just all.
so Twitter is demanding that we have 14s instead of 5.
Thanks a lot, Twitter.
So let me guess the characters. There's a snowman, a gingerbread man, an elf, and then Santa Claus.
Close. Close. Very close. There is a snowman.
Yeah.
There is an elf. I think there's a penguin.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm gonna be on Team Penguin. I can tell you right now. I don't care what the route is. I'll figure it out.
And I think there's a gingerbread man or something else, but there's no Santa because I wanted to make sure it was more gender neutral. So
yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
more object characters a bit instead. And I've also designed it so that there's more crossover between the paths, so that if you choose a teen, you have more ways of getting there, so you're not as stuck with a particular genre as well.
Yeah,
Because I think,
to be honest, I just kind of followed my own path. And so during the week, people were talking about like what they were reading for different challenges, and I was like, I didn't even realize that was a challenge option. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I want to make it so you can go either way. You can start bottom up, or you can pick your character and find a way to get there. But there's a bit more flexibility.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. Penguins.
I really liked the map. Like,
Oh, actually, there is a Twitter account for it already. I know we're supposed to be talking about Halloween, but if people want to participate, I want to make sure you have the information.
No, it's good.
Yeah, you guys are
I've
getting the
decided
inside
to call
scoop.
them. I've decided to call them Adventureathons, and there is a Twitter account that looks like this with the Twitter handle Adventureathon, and I'll be posting updates on that soon. So if you want to know about the Christmas Readathon, find it, and you'll know everything. Oh, where's the bunny?
Oh.
I'm not at home. The bunny isn't here.
We all
Eating
miss her.
valuable things. I'm actually supposed to be moving soon, so there'll be a whole different setup involving the bunny anyway. The Christmas bunny.
I guess we should eventually talk about the god-awful book we had to read this month.
Oh.
As we all like communally groan.
Did anyone in the chat read Salem's Lot?
Yeah, that's a good place to start. Did
Chelsea,
you
did you
guys
like-
read this with us?
Is anyone else suffering a pain?
Did everyone here
I
finish
feel like
it?
Chelsea wanted to say something about Salem's Lot.
Yes, share your thoughts.
Well, this was my second time reading it, guys, so thanks for that.
Really?
Yeah, I read it.
Why didn't you tell us?
Yeah.
Why
Did you like
warn us?
Well, it was one of those times where, like, I missed the chat for, like, a day and a half, and then everything happened, and I was like, oh, God, why did they pick it?
It wasn't winning for the longest time. I didn't think it was going to win, and it just came in and swooped in that bowl.
I know.
Yeah. And it was weird because Stalking Jack the Ripper was winning forever.
It was
and then,
killing it for majority of the
everyone
time.
ended up reading that.
So much better.
And everyone read that anyways, I feel like. So many people read it
Yeah,
this
like
month.
so many.
Yeah, so true. I definitely read both.
I didn't read Stalking Jack the Ripper, but
Oh, well.
did you guys like that? Because I heard kind of mixed reviews.
I've heard mixed reviews. I haven't read it.
I liked the idea of the story, but I don't really like the writing so much. But it was okay. It was good.
Yeah, I liked it, and I've heard a lot of people say that they didn't like the writing style, but I listened to it as an audiobook, which I think might have helped because it didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that as much when it was being sort of read out loud more, perhaps. So I did quite enjoy it.
Are you gonna
I think
read
I was
the
lucky.
sequel?
What?
Sorry, are you gonna read the sequel?
I think so. I'm not sure. I liked this one because it was actually about like a historical serial killer, whereas the next one's about Dracula, and I'm like, it was more fun thinking of it as a real person than as a, fictional character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
It
doesn't
sounds
like.
No one likes Salem's Lot? Okay, good. I don't feel so bad. It was tedious, right? Like,
So slow.
it could have been cut in half.
I agree. It
Oh,
was
for
really
sure. It was like he was trying to write literary fiction and horror fiction at the same time, Like you'd start off chapters with several pages of just like philosophical nonsense and then kind of get to the horror parts, and you're like, no one cares about the sunset. Stop talking about all of the stuff to do with the sunset.
There was a lot of
he tried really hard to set the scene.
And like just multiple pages of what everyone in the town is doing and who's sleeping with who and who's masturbating in front of a mirror. I'm like, why do
unnecessary like drama and
yeah, I just felt like it wasn't even, and keep in mind, guys, I am the biggest chicken in the world, and there was only one scene, well, two scenes that were scary, and then the end when they're like, we're defeating the, you know, main bad person. I don't know if we're talking about spoilers, so I'm trying to be vague, but it was just like so stupid. It was so dumb. It was like, that's stupid. What this whole book's leading up to.
I felt that like the ending was just so like anticlimactic and not worth it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I read all of this for that.
Yeah.
I agree. Like there was a bit of good suspense up until we figured out what the villain of the story was. And then from after that it was just boring as hell, and I wasn't scared or anything at any point after that.
I don't think I was scared at any point.
Have any of you read?
So the only time that I got even remotely kind of scared, or not even scared, but like a little bit tense, was the very first scene where anything happened in the graveyard. And then after that I was like, well, now we know exactly what everyone's up against, and no one cares. There's no suspense.
So
I felt like it was pretty like obvious what was going on, and like everything was just really dragged out. Like we know you're not like surprising us.
Yeah. Plus, you know, the only female character was the first one to die.
Right.
You know.
I feel like that's standard.
And I don't care if that's a spoiler because that sucks, and I'm going to call that out.
That's good.
This was my first Stephen King, and I mean, it leaves me wondering if I should even like continue to explore him because he's so well loved.
That's what I was gonna
I've been thinking the same thing. From what I've heard, it's kind of a case of like he's written. Oh, sorry. You go.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask, because a lot of his other books are like so long. Are they all that like, let's set the scene for an entire chapter before we get to anything? Or are they actually good?
I haven't read anything else by him in a long time. I read Misery like when I was in junior high, and I don't remember it at all. But I do know this was his second book, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So I'm sure they get better.
I
hope. Yeah, I think Carrie was his debut, and this was his second book.
But people love Carrie.
Is that he's kind of written so many books that it's like a lottery where he's going to end up writing some good ones eventually, just because
exactly, because you have so many that eventually something's going to stick. I've heard good things about, what is it? I don't know.
Oh, there's a dog.
The one that's really long. Shoot. They're all really long. That was a really good description. I've heard good things about one of them.
Reggie, you know more Stephen King than anyone, according to
really
book battles.
Funny,
so
book battles, like I was like, I'm not gonna know any Stephen King answer at all, and I got almost all of them right. Because the thing is, he's had so many prominent.
Yeah, he's
things turned into movies, and people have talked about them, and I haven't even watched the movies, but like I've heard about them, so it's like, oh, I know the general plot of The Mist, and that was one of them.
I read Cujo when I was a teenager, and I mean, I was a long time ago, but I remember it being really scary, and I remember being like reading it really nervous and freaked out. So, I mean, I guess I'd maybe recommend that one, but.
The Stand. That's the one.
The Stand.
That's what I've heard good things about. The story. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I watched the movie It, and I really enjoyed it. And I hadn't watched the original It, and I don't know if I would like the book, though, because I've heard some, like, weird things about the book.
Yeah, I heard some weird things.
Some weird scenes with the kids.
The ending. Yeah, I think we the same thing.
I'm like, I don't know if I could read all that for that. That just,
Yeah. But The Stand, I thought, wasn't The Stand, they made it into like a movie or a series or something on
I have
Sci-Fi?
no idea about an adaptation of The Stand. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like everything he's done has been adapted.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're at the point where he wrote, like, short stories, and those are starting to get adapted. Like, the one that just came out on Netflix was a short story.
Hmm. So, when we're picking the group book next year, did you guys like the way we had, like, the poll to let people vote and, like, options to pick from and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I
I
like
think we
that.
should check Goodreads for ratings before we.
Yeah, I'd say we do the exact same process we did. We get suggestions, and we put a poll, but, like, there's this vetting process in the middle.
That sounds good.
Go.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
Oh, Alice.
I love
Alice
Joe
said her
Hill.
mom. Yeah. I saw porns with
Michelle.
Daniel Radcliffe.
I actually haven't read any of his, like, books, but he did the Lock and Key graphic novel series, and it's, like, my all-time favorite graphic novel. It's amazing. They're horror, but not super scary.
Joe Hill, I read the first 3 chapters of Heart-Shaped Box when I was like 19, and I was terrified. And I was like, nope, I'm done. Bye.
See, not a lot of things scare me, so I might be interested in that.
It's like I think it's a ghost story if I remember correctly.
I love
like
ghost stories,
yeah.
as you guys might be able to tell since I was teenage.
I'm normally terrible with spooky stuff, so this was my first ever foray into actually reading anything remotely creepy this October. And I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, in spite of some
I was surprised that I wasn't terrified by Salem's Lot, and it left me feeling like maybe I'm braver than I thought, but
Maybe.
probably not.
Maybe you're ready to try out some more horror.
I'm kind of curious, because I always thought I was a bit of a chicken as well. Like, I've had some pretty terrible experiences with friends in high school making me watch horror movies that aren't even very good horror movies.
Yeah, I had
Being
the
one that
same.
doesn't suck.
My brothers did that to me when I was a kid, and I was like, no, I have nightmares. So
I remember once watching, like, I didn't even see the whole thing, but I saw like 5 minutes of some mystery solving show that my mum was watching on television as a kid that I wasn't allowed to see. I was supposed to be in bed, but I like got up to go to the toilet or something, and I had nightmares for like a year after that. It was the worst. It was like a dead
My mom was obsessed with the X-Files, and so
Mine too.
I was so scared of aliens. Like, I had a recurring nightmare as a child about aliens in my living room.
Totally understandable.
Like, even now, I'm like, if you're a scary alien, like, I'm just not into you.
I watched The Exorcist when I was far too young to be watching anything even close to that. And to this day, I have an irrational fear of being possessed. I don't even believe in demons
my God,
and such,
yes.
but nope.
It could happen.
It could still
It's
happen.
terrifying.
Everyone is typing.
Yeah. I was so excited when they put X-Files on Netflix, though.
Yeah.
Like, that made my life.
I've never watched the show all the way through, but I watched all of the, like, movies with my mom, and I, like, know the general arc, and I watched, like, important episodes. Because, like, my mom was that obsessed, but I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. But, like, that would be, like, if my kids, like, were interested in, like, and I was, like, watching Gilmore Girls, like, all my life. I've been watching Gilmore Girls. I'm never going to stop. So, like, they're going to be, like, that with that. They're going to be like, nope, that's your thing. Have fun.
I'll be right there with you, though. Gilmore Girls life.
Gilmore Girls is right up there.
I've never seen Gilmore Girls.
I actually only watched
You
Gilmore
didn't
Girls
see
for the
Gilmore Girls? Are you high? Like, go watch it. What are you doing here? Go.
I watched. It was like the only show because I didn't watch a lot of TV. It was the only show I watched like live. I started watching it like in season 2, first episode. I was like, I watched season 1. I started on season 2. I was way too young to be watching it probably, and like I just grew up with the show, and it's like so ingrained in who I am now.
The revival season though was awful.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
So many thumbs down.
So bad.
The revival is actually the first Gilmore Girls show that I actually watched season because one of my friends who was obsessed with it watched it at my house. And then I was like, well, this is kind of awful, but I want to watch Gilmore Girls. So I went back to the start and binge watched the whole thing in March this year.
Amazing.
And then we watched the revival.
And so it was like a really sad intro to the show.
I didn't understand how terrible it was the first time I watched it until I'd gone back and done that circle and came back to it. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
It's really upsetting because like the show creator was like, this is how I always imagined the show ending. And I'm like, really?
Really? Because that was bad.
Really?
terrible.
I'm glad you didn't get it.
I saw nothing.
Sorry.
I think she meant for it to be like, well, I don't know if it's spoilers for Gilmore Girls revival, so in 5 seconds, just so you guys know in the chat.
Plug your ears for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you don't want them.
I think she meant for it to be like after Rory was like graduating college and she was supposed to go on and be a journalist, she was supposed to be pregnant, and then it was supposed to like mess with her life like it did her mom. But that happening when she's 32 is just like
it's supposed to be like it's I don't know. I'm not. This is not a Gilmore Girls chat. We'll not talk about it, but
There it is.
Everyone's so depressed now. Let's talk about Christmas again.
That was a much cheerier topic.
I'm curious, like, what was everyone's favorite thing that they read during the readathon? Like, the best thing.
I read a lot of good books, actually. There was only one that was just okay. But all of them got 3.5 or 4 stars.
That's good.
A Discovery of Witches was probably my favorite.
Ooh, I wanted to read that.
I still haven't read that.
I've heard of it, but I haven't really, like, looked it up yet.
The cover just always really interests me. It's like... Really
it's just so, it's very, very entertaining. I will say that it is a book that, like, you need to have the whole trilogy because I don't have the second book, and at the end, nothing was resolved. But it was just so entertaining, and the characters were just so, like, interesting, and the story was interesting, and even though it was, like, tropey, like, witches, vampires, demons, and stuff, it had enough unique aspects that just made it really cool. What was your favorite book, Vanessa?
I read for my English class King Arthur's story called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which I read before last semester too, but I love it so much. It's so fun.
I remember reading that in high school. I love that.
I used to be everything to do with like every possible retelling of it. So I'm all for that.
That sounds interesting.
I did my, we have to do a PowerPoint every semester, and I did mine on the Arthurian legend, and it was really fun.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that would have been so cool. You're making me miss uni, but not that much.
Let's see. TeastainedPages says Midsummer's Night Dream, and The Hunger Games was her favorite.
Ooh, good choices.
Oh.
Hunger Games is
Good.
good.
I love The Hunger Games.
Throwback.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
That's
delicious.
I feel like it's time for a reread of The Hunger Games soon. It's been forever since I read that.
That would be
I
fun.
reread the trilogy right before the last movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I read the trilogy until like the first movie was starting to be promoted, and by then the third the third book was out already, right? I think I read them back to back.
Yeah.
Vanessa from World of Words said she read Illuminae and Rat Queens and would say that Illuminae was her favorite.
Man, I
I
keep
still
trying to
haven't read
read that, and I keep not getting through it, and really upsetting because I'm trying to listen to the audiobook and it keeps getting like expired and going back to the library. I'm like, why am I not listening to this?
Well,
Which one, Illuminate or
Yeah.
Illuminate?
I
You
don't know
gotta
why I
read
can't
it.
get through
You
it.
gotta read it. It's about the
I know.
format.
Everyone tells me. Well, I've been trying to read them and audiobook them at the same time because everyone like talks about both. And I think that's
really?
my struggle is that I'm trying to listen and read at the same time. And it's just I can't put that much time into something.
yeah, maybe just pick one.
Yeah.
Because if you just pick one, I promise it will go much more quickly.
Michelle said she liked The Novice. That is on my TBR shelf. I'm really excited about it because it's like someone compared it to like almost like Pokemon, and I was like, what? Like that sounds awesome.
That's funny.
Deshauna
I'm terrible at
read,
keeping up.
Deshauna, I hope I'm saying your name right. She was on Team Spooky Zombie and she kept posting pictures of Cheese Sweet Home that she was reading. It's like about a cat. It's a graphic novel.
Oh yeah,
That sounds
was so
adorable.
cute.
Oh yeah, she did talk about that one. It was cute.
I can't even remember what I read, which is terrible. I think
I
I read Halloween Party, and I read
didn't read enough.
Stalking Jack the Ripper,
Oh yeah.
and I would not recommend Halloween Party. Don't read it.
Really? It looked cute.
It looks cute, right?
It does look
It's
cute.
such a I was so excited, and it was so disappointing.
That's so sad.
Like,
I didn't.
like,
Oh.
yeah.
You guys, everyone's really like into this Hunger Game reread. We should do a Hunger
We should
Games.
do a Hunger Games reread. I would so be into that. We could like watch all the movies too. Just like go all out.
Let's do it.
That'd be so fun.
Watch along.
We should totally do that in like January too. Cause then it's
I'm
like
down.
those are such quick book stories. So it would be like a really fast way to get like on track for reading in the new year.
Let's do
That's
it.
true.
Mhm.
That's a great idea.
So down.
I didn't read that
Oh,
many
I'll
books
look
during the
for this here.
readathon, sadly.
What did you end up reading?
I read The Sandcastle Empire, which was a dystopian, which was way better than I thought it was going to be. I really liked it. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
It has some, like, twists and turns, like every book does, and, like, I found them super predictable. But it was still enjoyable. Because, like, the idea of the book is, like, it's a dystopian world, but the characters essentially somehow, through the course of events I won't spoil, get lost on an island, and the island has, like, these weird, crazy things going on, so it's, like, Lost. But it's not as, like, cool as Lost, but it really, like, had some really cool Lost vibes, and I really enjoyed that. And then I read Magnus Chase, the third book, which was my favorite I read during the week. I love those books. They're so good. And I can't remember. I read something else, and I don't remember, but I gave it 5 stars, and I really liked it. But I can't remember what it is.
Oh, no.
I hate that. It's really upsetting. I'm going to look it up now because I'm sad I can't remember.
Booktuber problems.
Right? I read Salem's Lot was the 100th book I read this year, and I was like, that's such a sad 100th book. I could have read a cool book for book 100. Oh, I read Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. That's what it was.
Oh,
That was really good. I gave that a 5 star too.
yeah.
I remember because like the weekend that the readathon was going on, my my heater wasn't working, and it was the first weekend it was really cold here. So I was just sitting by like a little space heater my friend gave me, listening to the Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue.
Oh.
That's like all I did all weekend.
I keep forgetting to like add an audiobook to my TBRs for readathons because that's like a good way to like while you're doing other stuff to read.
Mhm.
I'm like so bad at that, and every time I hear someone's TBR and they're like, I'm gonna listen to this audiobook, I'm like, dang it, I should have done that.
I didn't do that at first, and then I was just like, which of these books that I'm already reading has like had good audio book recommendations? I'm like, everyone's talked about Gentleman's Guide's audiobook. Okay, I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
I always
pretty
fell
sure
asleep
my library had it.
audiobook.
I don't have a library card, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna get one. That's one of my goals for 2017.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
You can do it.
If nothing else, for the like e-audiobooks, I use those.
That's what
so
I'm
much.
thinking. Because like
Yeah.
I have Amazon Prime, so I listen to all of the audiobooks that are free for Amazon Prime that I'm interested in anyway. So I need some free things, okay?
Mhm. Oh my gosh, so many people have already hit their 100 book mark.
Guys,
Holy
stop it. Sorry.
Oh,
I used to not read that many books in a year. I would read like a good amount of books, but not that many. And then actually it was the year I discovered BookTube, and how I discovered BookTube was I wanted to do the 52 and 52 challenge. And it's like to read 52 books in 52 weeks. And I was like, that'll be a good way to get me to read more. And I was looking for recommendations of books to read, and that's how I found BookTube. But like that year I got so excited about all the books on BookTube that I was hearing about that I ended up reading like 90 books.
Wow.
I was like, I went from like 30 to like
Such a
90.
slow reader.
I went from like 20 to 50 my first year on BookTube, which was like the end of last year. And this year I'm going to hit 60. That's the most I've ever read.
Yeah.
it's 100, and this is the first year that I'm like close to not doing it. So I'm like, no.
How close are you? Where are you?
I have about 20-something to go.
Read a lot of graphic novels.
Well, I
don't read any.
And poetry books or something.
Overdrive is what gets me through though, because I listen to audiobooks at like double speed, so I can finish a book in like a couple hours. So that's kind of the plan for the rest of the year.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to like audiobooks in the car and when I walk my dog and stuff. And that's like at least 2 hours of my day. Good.
Yeah, same here.
Audiobooks have changed my life. I'm so sad that I didn't start doing them earlier.
I know. I never read them until the last few years, and I'm like, why wasn't I doing this? This is amazing.
I know.
And then
Like all of this year, I have been lucky to maybe read 3 books in a month. And then I started listening to audiobooks at the end of September, and I read 7 books in a month, which literally
That's 100% what happens to me. I'm like, I'll read like 2 or 3 books in the month, but then like I'll read like 5 or 6 audiobooks in a month, and I'm like, everyone's like, how do you read like 10 books a month? And I'm like, audiobooks, 100%. It's just like at least like 75% of the books I'm reading are audiobooks.
So
Such
good.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Need a library card.
You do.
I read a lot for school, but so many of the things we read are just like excerpts from bigger books, and I never know if I should be like putting it on Goodreads or not, and it kind of sucks.
Because like all of your like readathon TBR almost was, well, at least your TBR was like school stuff.
Yeah, I'm taking 5 classes this semester, and 4 of them are like upper level English classes. So
That sounds hard.
You are like my
time-consuming.
queen, and I praise you. Plus, you're going to like do some poetry thing in England, aren't you, next year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I like wasn't gonna do it at first, but then I got an omen from the universe, so now like I have to.
Yes.
Girl, take advantage of it. I
Yes.
passed up on a study abroad trip like when I was in college, and I still haven't gone to Europe, and I'm 30, so do it if you can.
Yeah, no, if you can get your school to like put at least any of the like getting you there or like any part of that, even if it's just like finding accommodations, go for it because it's so hard.
Grab that and you hold on to it and you don't let anyone take it away.
Exactly.
And my English teacher is like really cool. We're basically BFFs, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Especially in English, there's a lot of opportunities to do that stuff, so you should like look into them because Manny in grad school at least has done like so many trips to the UK, like 3 or 4, and the school split the bill for all of it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
can I
like,
come, please?
I'm small. Can you do a drop over in Australia and pick me up?
We're like, we have a free day, and we're like, we don't have any class scheduled. And I was like, what do I want to do with this free day? And I was like Googling what's close. I was like, I could take this train to London, or I could like
everything's closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
That's amazing.
I know this season. You're
On the
making me
Fritz
think
says
I
she's
chose
only-
the wrong masters, which is kind of sad.
what?
I said you're making me think I chose the wrong masters now. Because there's
Oh
no
no.
overseas.
Aw. What are you getting your master's in?
Nursing.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
very exciting.
Nursing's a hard program. I had my roommate in college was in nursing. That's really hard. So I don't envy you having to study that much, but it'll be cool when you're done and you get to
It will be cool.
do some nursing.
Yeah.
Make some money.
I'm not very excited for the studying part of it. But I'll be glad when it's over.
It'll be worth it in the end.
I feel like a lot of my friends who've studied nursing have said the same exact thing. Like, this is not fun, but I'm super excited for when I'm done.
Yeah.
And get to like do nursing.
At my school, we're not allowed to decorate like our cap and gown when we graduate. But I was talking to one of my teachers, and she was like, yeah, technically you're not supposed to, but those nursing students go bananas with their cap and gown.
Those nursing students.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Man, that's
I
sad.
guess
That
it's
was like
'cause
my
they
favorite
suffered
part.
so much.
I love decorating my cap. That was so much fun.
Hmm.
We
I
don't
guess,
do
like,
that here
you're
in
not
Australia.
supposed to, but people do it.
Mm-hmm. At our school, they encouraged it. The Alumni Association bought like supplies and did like an event for you to like decorate if you couldn't afford decorations on your own.
That's
Aw.
cool.
Happen in Australia at all. Like,
For those of you that have only been to Canada, I went to Niagara Falls when I was like 22, and then I didn't leave the country until I was 28 for the first time. I went to Ecuador, and that's the only place I've ever been, so don't feel bad.
I've never been out of the country.
I never left country.
Yeah, me either. I've never left the country.
It's coming though.
I don't even
I
have like a
think
passport.
Yeah, I don't either.
I didn't get a passport until I went to Ecuador. Because back then, I'm so old, back in the day, you didn't need a passport to go to Canada.
Yeah, you still technically could get like a passport card and go to like Mexico and Canada with just a card.
I used my birth certificate. So,
Okay, yeah, no, that's not a thing.
I think now you actually need a passport to travel within the U.S.
Yeah, there's certain places like that. Yeah, there's certain places now that like their IDs are not acceptable to like fly through. If you're gonna fly through that state, you have to like have a passport.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I
It is
guess you get
crazy.
one.
I remember when you only needed a birth certificate to go to Mexico, but my last name is Lopez, so like my parents were like, yeah, we're not going there.
Yeah, my mom had a
like,
similar
I live in El
thing.
Paso. I live in El Paso, and we're like right on the border. And a lot of people like actually live in Mexico, but they come over for like school or work or whatever. And I can't imagine like having to every day. Like I imagine it's a big line and like a
That
big
sounds
process
like a
and stuff.
pain. I don't know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a pain.
bye.
On the Fritz said they had a bomb threat, so theirs was moved. Your graduation?
Oh my
I think
gosh.
he's talking about her graduation.
Whoa.
That's
That's
terrible.
crazy.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. I'm like way behind on the chat. Sorry, guys.
No, catch up because I think you're gonna have fun in just a second.
Huh?
Cami lives in El Paso.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's so exciting.
you should be friends.
We should get lunch or something.
Michelle said, novel thoughts, how many cups do you have drinking from?
I have two. So I started off with a cup of tea in my Christmas mug, and then my boyfriend just bought me a hot chocolate and brought it in. So I do have two mugs. You're not a magic cute.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, everybody. New people.
Alex did so awesome on so many things for Sbooktober this year.
Amazing
I'm so impressed.
stuff.
So true.
I was telling her, like, after the paper challenge, she made that piñata, and we were talking about it on Twitter.
Oh my gosh, we were talking about that for a while. It was so cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was very cool.
And I liked her coffin bookshelf, too.
It was super cool.
Her dad makes those. Her and her dad. They're really neat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting. So, have like any suggestions of like stuff that we could do next year for Sbooktober, or anything that they think would like improve the event?
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was
I thought it was really good.
I was like that.
But yeah.
I definitely think, and this might just be because I was like anxiety, and I know the reason, so this is not a complaint. It's just I was like, I need to post this TBR. I'm like, I need to post this TBR. So it was like when the challenges were finally like released, all the other readathons for October, they had their like challenges released, and I was like, so that I had anxiety. I'm like, I need to post it. Like I want everyone to know about it.
Right.
Well, for the record, that was supposed to be released before October even started, but I had two illustrators pull out on me before I got to get that map illustrated. So hopefully that won't happen again, because I'm doing it myself instead of trying to get other people to do it for me.
Right.
I remember you talking about it, and I felt so bad, because I'm like, that's just such a bummer. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't a complaint. I was just like, I was so excited about it. Like, and everyone else was posting their TBRs for their readathons, and I wanted to do it so bad.
Yeah, totally understandable, because so did I.
You did such a good job, Jasmine. Like
it was so cool.
It was just so cool. You're awesome. And Vanessa too, like obviously organizing everything else. So you guys are like rock stars.
Yeah. I agree. Vanessa, the work that you have done on the whole Sbooktober month is phenomenal. Amazing. Especially if you're studying 5 uni student subjects as well. Like, that's nuts.
I know. I was like, oh, it's going to be so busy and like stressful, but there's like nothing in the world that could stop me from doing Sbooktober. Like, I loved it so much last year. So yeah. And I'm so glad that we got to like do the readathon together and stuff this year.
Yeah.
Like, that was really fun.
It was.
And you all enjoyed it. I was very excited when I came up with the ideas, so I'm kind of overwhelmed at how many people have enjoyed it and done it as well.
Yeah, so many people with the readathon.
Right?
I don't even know, like, are you keeping track of like the points and stuff? I was like, how are you?
I've kept track of it
like,
as I can.
So hard.
I didn't do very well. So next time, I think that there won't be the points coming from Twitter updates, because too many people just posted like 15 posts a day on Twitter. And I couldn't keep up with all.
I was one of those people.
There were so many, including me. Like, I was doing it too, trying to get points for zombies, and it's just like, no, I wasn't even a zombie. Skeletons. That's not ideal. Yeah, so I did the best that I could, but there were a lot of people, and not everyone was using the right tags or tagging me, so I didn't see everything, unfortunately. But I think that everyone participated and had fun anyway, and that was more important than
for sure
with the points as exactly as I could.
The story mentioned that the like Spooktober, Spooktober like headlines were kind of confusing. So maybe we could just clarify like the difference between the Spooktober and the Spooktacular.
Yeah, there's no P's. Get rid of all the letter P.
No P.
Yeah, there's no P.
But the first year we did it, like we weren't sure yet if we wanted it to be.
We haven't completely finished. Yeah, because I was looking at my like announcement video from last year and it had a P and I was like, wait a second, that was never the title. Oh, okay.
We decided like halfway through to go with
right last
so
minute.
The first year was yeah. So the first year was confusing, but and that's all we're using.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think having all of those hashtags, like it even confused me because I did the first, what did I do? The first Twitter sprint, and I definitely used the wrong hashtag, and Jasmine was correcting me the whole time, but I was like, I can't switch in the middle, so I just...
Right. Even like after I had the warning and I knew what the right hashtag was, I used like the wrong one at some point, and I was like, kept like replying to it being like, oh, asterisk, I'm sorry, it's this, I'm sorry.
And Jasmine was so chill about it. She was like trying to like add the tag to all of my things, and I was like, "Thanks, girl."
It was fine. The main reason for that was that the points for the sprints worked differently to the like any normal reading updates. So I was trying to just make sure that I knew how to separate them for calculating points and things. But I mean,
that makes sense.
I just thought you had them back, but you know that's cool too.
Exactly a professional thing. Just one, so it didn't really matter.
And then the difference between Spooktober and Spooktacular was because Spooktober was like the event that we did last year, and then Jasmine mentioned that she was thinking of doing a Halloween readathon, so we decided to like combine
forces.
But,
Yeah.
But,
like, so this was our sort of first attempt at combining it.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be like part of Spooktober, but we still wanted it to be like her readathon. So we didn't
because it was her
like,
idea and stuff.
Her.
Yeah. Because last year we did a readathon, but we just made our own like random challenges, and this was way cooler. But we still wanted her to have the credit because it was 100% her.
I think it was 100% awesome.
It was.
It was amazing. I'm glad. Yeah, so I feel like maybe next year, now that I actually have a name for this kind of readathon, which I didn't think I was going to do.
Adventureathon thing?
What? Yeah, the Adventureathon.
Yeah.
So next year it can just be the Sbooktober Adventureathon, and everyone will know.
That's perfect, yeah. That's true.
Oh, that'll make sense. That'll be
good. This was just a test run. I didn't know if it was going to work, if people were going to like it. Like, there was a lot of... This was like the beta run. Everyone, well done. Thank you for participating.
I'd say it was a successful test run.
Yeah, I think so.
I was like trying to watch like all the videos as they are posted and like keep up with them, but there were so many TBRs getting posted like faster than I could even watch them. It was wild.
There were so many TBRs.
Yeah.
And when our announcements first went up, like everyone was talking about how cool it was. So I'm really excited to see you're doing more of them.
Yeah. Well, I'll get the announcement for the next one up much earlier because it'd be nice to have more time to look through those TBRs.
Right.
I think I should
That's definitely true.
Looking through all of them.
Hey, listen, if you need help this time too, like I'm totally down. It was just so much fun, and working with all of you guys was awesome.
I'll definitely be putting the search out for co-hosts. So,
yay! And I'm really, really grateful for all of you guys too, because like obviously this is such a huge event, and having such helpful and excited and enthusiastic people here makes it so much better, and it was just awesome.
So many feels. Does anyone else in the chat have any questions or comments that they feel like?
Suggestions, anything?
Yeah, talked about yet?
My little zombie.
all quiet in the chat.
Yeah.
Alex, you missed it. We already had like 20-minute conversation about the Christmas readathon.
It's Adventureathon, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat now.
Okay, I was about to do it, but you should do it because it's your thing. Are we still calculating who won the cup, right?
I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I can definitely do a breakdown of who won and came second and third.
Someone in the chat asked, you can if you want, you don't have to.
Oh, what team won? Yeah. So, I mean, it was a fairly uneven fight from the very start, so I don't think anyone would be
No surprise
here that team won. The second team was Team Spooky Zombie, who worked very hard.
They were super hard working.
They were very hard working. And then third was Team Spooky Skeleton, which I was very impressed with because I thought we were the minority, but it turns out that we weren't.
No, I feel like Team Ghost was pretty like there were like 4 of us.
So then fourth was Team Vampire and fifth was Team Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah.
But everyone was phenomenal. Like, I have never been more impressed with how much people can read than I was looking at everyone's wrap-ups. Like, it was insane.
Zombie. I feel like they were flying through those pages.
Yeah, so Deshauna genuinely read like 7 books for 7 challenges. And people like The Story and Stacy genuinely read like nearly 2,000 pages in a week, which is
holy my god, bro.
There were some really amazing reading things, I think, definitely. And next time for the next readathon, I am going to average them by the number of people in the team in order to make that a bit more of an even fight for everyone. Not that it's supposed to be too competitive, but I think it would be nice to have a bit more of a surprise than to have the 40-person team.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
Yeah.
Even though I feel, whoa, sorry, I lost my headphone. I feel like having that witch team though, it was almost like a juggernaut that like all the other teams made.
Yeah, there's times we're working really hard to beat them. Yeah, I feel like everyone's like, come on.
Yeah, so I've tried to make, for the next one, I've tried to make a few fall into interact. It includes more crossover between be a bit easier to teams and also the averaging. Cool. So even if it'll still be like a team effort kind of thing rather than just an cumulative.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, like you streamlining the points too will make it like
a lot
easier for exactly for the tracking purposes. Because I didn't track any of my points. I was just like, let me just tweet stuff and
do whatever I can to get points and let Jasmine figure it out.
Exactly.
So anything you can do to make it easier on that person adding those points up.
Yeah, so no Twitter next time. I'm sorry, but it's way too easy to just post stuff.
Yeah, I was reading there's so many ways to gain points.
Yeah, 30-second updates, not ideal. I guess if I was being a proper Dumbledore figure, I could award 50,000 points to teams that they would win, but...
I would say give the extra points to Spooky Zombie. I genuinely think
they killed it.
If like all else equal, they definitely were.
They were reading
not
so
the
many
best
pages.
team. I mean, Spooky Witch was the best team, but they were.
Like, if I decided to average the points by number of team members this particular readathon, instead of like if I'd gone with that path, then Team Spooky Zombie would have won because the amount that they read for the number of people they had was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So well done, Spooky Zombie. You've definitely won team effort cup.
The chat saying it would be like Harry Potter.
It would be less Harry Potter.
One thing that I was kind of thinking about this year, but I never suggested it, was what if you had like the host of each team, like the team captain, keep track of their own team's
Yeah.
points?
So that
So
is
then
something
you
that
don't
I
do
do
everything.
but I didn't want to just lump that on you guys out of the blue. So next time I'll be like, if you want to be a host, you have to be willing to help track your own team points, because it is difficult.
That seems fair.
But I didn't want to, just make everyone be like, hey, so out of the blue, you're now a host captain for a team and also tracking
all these points.
I would have done it.
I would have done it. I honestly think I would have probably like paid more attention to the points too if I would have like been doing that, because I honestly wasn't paying that much attention.
Team Ravenclaw.
I'm
What do you mean,
Ravenclaw
sorry,
also.
Chad? That was Ravenclaw.
Oh my gosh, everyone's a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaws are the best.
Am I the only Hufflepuff?
I'm a Ravenpuff, if that helps.
Ravenclaw, that's fun.
I think Hufflepuffs are literally the best house. They have like the best traits that like everyone should want to be. I just literally am not them.
Exactly. I totally agree. I think that Hufflepuff, as you sort of grow up, you realize that Hufflepuff is definitely not the dud house. Like, everyone should strive to be a Hufflepuff.
I want to be a Hufflepuff. I'm just not to that level.
That's why I'm so proud that I'm like an equal mix of Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff.
I feel like I'm Ravenclaw and Slytherin. I don't know that for a fact, but if I were to guess.
If I had to pick another house, I'd probably be Gryffindor. When I first took the Pottermore quiz, it gave me Gryffindor, and I was like, no, I'm a Ravenclaw. You can't do that to me. And then I was like, I'm probably the only person who's ever complained about being sorted into Gryffindor.
Nope, I did too.
My mum was sorted into Slytherin 3 times, and she just kept trying to take different to get Gryffindor.
So your mom's basically Harry Potter.
Yeah. Okay, it works out.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is like the test didn't ask me what house I wanted to be. The sorting hat takes your preference into account. I would be a Ravenclaw. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But I took the.
Teastainedpages.
Go ahead.
Teastainedpages said I could be a Hufflepuff if I was promised Eddie Redmayne.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I had a dream where I went on a date with Eddie Redmayne last week. It was
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Nice.
Except there were no dragons, so you gotta lift your dating game, Eddie. I love that this has just descended into a Harry Potter conversation. I feel like
I'm not surprised.
All roads lead to Harry Potter.
I haven't reread Harry Potter since I was in high school.
Okay, so we'll read Hunger Games in January and we'll start Harry Potter in February.
But I have to read it before next BookNet Fest because, I mean, Ravenclaw's supposed to win trivia, and Vanessa kicked our ASS in trivia at BookNet Fest, so I'm definitely.
I should go.
I can come prepared next time.
There's like a Harry Potter readathon in December.
Oh yeah,
Harry Xmas
every
2.
year. They do it every year. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think they
I started rereading them
stuff.
They do watch the movies. Yeah.
before October, before the readathon. I started rereading the Harry Potter ones, and then I had to stop because of my readathon TBR, which was very sad.
That's kind of how.
Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit of facts about Jashana right now. She does not like Gilmore Girls. She never read The Hunger Games. She hasn't read Harry Potter.
Out.
I love her. She's one of my new favorites, but it's just so funny. She's so funny in the chat.
Ready to be killed in the chat right now. So true.
So, Jashana, what do you like? Enlighten us.
Yes, tell us more. What are your favorites? We're not hating on you. We love you.
We totally love you.
We're waiting.
Teastained Pages is having a Harry Potter party for her 11th birthday.
That is
I'm
the
so
cutest
jealous.
thing
wanna
ever.
go.
I'm so jealous.
I know.
That's so cool. I wish I was cool enough to have done stuff like that when I was 11.
Yeah.
I don't know. How old was Harry Potter? How old am I? Yeah, I was old enough. I
would have been old enough, but I just wouldn't. It didn't occur to me.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I had like 2 friends, so.
Yeah, my birthday was in December, so like no one would come to my birthday party because it was too close to Christmas. That's why.
Oh my gosh, same. I'm in November, so everyone was kind of already away.
Yeah. Classic. Like, it's fun.
Game of Thrones videos.
Game of
Yes.
That is so good.
But not Game of Thrones. The reaction.
Just the reaction.
Oh, and series
Okay, that's great.
There's a pigeon on the window.
What?
That's good luck, right?
I can show you, but I kind of want to try. So.
Right.
You see it? Can you see the pigeon? No, it flew away.
No.
Disappointing. Sorry. Oh, it's still there. Oh my gosh.
I have a real problem with the reaction videos. People really like reaction videos.
Guys, is it there? I really want to look at the pigeon. So many.
I'm reading the second book of the Song of Ice and Fire series in January, but it's like 800 pages, so it's going to take
Wait, we just read Salem's Lot.
So
I don't know how many pages that was, but I'm sure Game of Thrones is of a quicker speed than that.
I read
it's worth it.
Well, I read the first Game of Thrones back in, I think it was March, and it takes, I mean, it's good, but it's also tedious. Like, it takes a while. But at least it's good. I didn't like Salem's Lot.
I'm
Me
like
either.
unhealthily obsessed with A Song of Ice and Fire. Like, to the point where I can't even watch the TV show happily because I'm so mad that they're, like, getting everything wrong. But the books are, like, my life. And I spend hours, like, I'll just be thinking about, like, the books and what happens in the books and all my favorite characters. And I get, like, so sucked into it. It's ridiculous.
That's really cute.
That's adorable.
I love them so much.
I wish I had that level of obsession with something.
Me too.
All my pets are, like, asleep right now.
My dog just went out for a walk. I can hear him barking as he like walks down the stairs.
Yeah, A World of Words says that's how she feels about the Shadowhunters show versus the books.
My God, that was, I don't even like the Mortal Instruments books, to be honest, and I watched the first season of that show and it's so bad.
It was so bad.
Like, I don't even like these books and I know they're so much better than this you're putting out. What are you doing?
It's so terrible. I don't know why I stopped. I'm just catching up on the chat now.
I'm reading it now. We're all quiet. I think we're all reading. I haven't read or watched Game of Thrones, but everyone talks about Sansa. Everyone loves Sansa.
It's like they either like her or they, because she gets a lot of hate.
I have.
And, like,
That's true. I have heard a lot of hate. I'll addend my statement too. I think a lot of people on BookTube love her.
Yeah. But like then you venture into the general public and
they're like,
horrifying.
She's like the only realistic character on the show, though.
Oh, I know.
Like,
It's so great.
everyone else is like, you know, their family members are dying and getting tortured and taken prisoner and stuff, and somehow they just deal with it and they're fine. And I'm like, what are you? What kind of superhuman race are you that you don't have emotions over this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Deshauna says she hated her for the first few seasons, but now she loves her. And I think that's a pretty common thing too.
Yeah. Definitely. Tribute is in sacrifice. Yes.
Alex says, I have a short attention span and I can't follow the series for too long. Alex, you read like wildfire. It would take you a month to read the entire series.
So true.
That's how I feel about the books, though. Like, I feel like there's so many of them and so long, and I would read them and enjoy them while I'm reading them, but when the next book finally ever comes out, I'd be like, I don't remember any of this. I'll have to reread all of these long books.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm like trying to schedule my reread whenever the next book gets announced so that it's like right before it comes out.
Right.
But, yeah.
I feel like he's going to pull like a John Green where the book was already ready for publication. It's going to be announced like 2 months before it comes out.
Oh my god, that would be ridiculous. I mean, I'll take that though. Like if that's what it takes to get this book, I'm happy.
You know what's really interesting about Turtles All the Way Down is a year ago exactly, John Green was like, oh, I'm not going to be writing any more books for like, if I do, it'll be years and years. And then he comes out with a book a year later. I'm like, you know you were writing that book when you posted that video.
What happened, though, what happened, in all honesty, is that he, OCD, and after the fame of Tiffio's happened, he stopped over this.
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, I didn't hear. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
no.
That's annoying. Okay, I'll try again. I said what happened in real life is that after the fame of Tiffio's, he got like really overwhelmed, and he has OCD in real life, and he stopped taking his medicine, and his OCD got really bad, and it started messing with his writing. And he's like, I don't think I can do this again.
Oh,
I see.
And I feel like he made like a generalized
really
statement. He made a generalized statement like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And then he ended up being able to sort it out by actually writing about OCD.
Is that what it's about? No, I didn't know. I haven't read it. I haven't read. No, I don't think so. I think people have said
I don't think it is at all. Like
people have said, I just didn't know what it was specifically about, but I haven't read any of his books, so I need to start from the beginning.
Technically, he never mentions the words OCD in the book. He never says it once, but it is. It clearly is. But I think there's another very famous book that does that. The Curious Incident of the Dog at the Nighttime. I believe the main character is like autistic, and they never use the word autism in the book. I have that book.
That's a good book.
I just got the audiobook because Audible had like a sale for it. It was like $2. And I was like, yep, I can do that.
I missed that.
They're doing like 20 days for their 20 years, and we're like on day 3 or something. And like some of the days are like free audiobooks.
Oh,
So like they
really?
just
Good
gave,
one?
on the first they gave away Brave New World.
Oh, cool.
So go like check them out. Because certain days they're giving away, not every day, but certain days they're giving away free audiobooks. You just have to like click download.
On it.
Mm-hmm. The chat is so much Game of Thrones stuff. I think. I don't know. No, it's great.
We moved on to John Green.
We're sharing.
This The chat's not there yet.
Yeah. Me and Jashana are still just like fangirling over tribute videos.
That's so funny. Did we talk about all of the things on our list?
I think
we
so.
did.
Go us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Unless anybody in the chat has any other like suggestions or comments or questions or anything.
Or random
like
things you want us to talk about, because we've been doing real good at that.
Going through all the major fans. Does anyone have any more?
Ever since you talked about Twix, Derby, I've been like eating Twix nonstop.
That's so funny. Have you seen the Twix Ghosts?
No.
They had Twix Ghosts for Halloween. I almost bought them just for Team Spooky Ghost.
That's awesome. But I have so many mini Twix right now. I have so much candy still left because there was a murder in my neighborhood that's shooting people. So there weren't that many trick-or-treaters.
I mean, if I was a parent in your neighborhood, I would be like, yeah, no.
Yeah. So I still literally have a full bowl of candy. I even was telling the kids, like, take a handful of candy. Like, take the candy. Candy pushing. But it's still a huge bowl that is full. And I need to, like, find out where I can donate this candy because I need it out.
To me.
Just ship it to people. It'll be fine. It won't melt in the mail or anything.
Oh, man. Alex said she kidnapped her neighbor's kid and went trick-or-treating.
One of my coworkers
That is
offered.
a good plan.
Yeah, one of my coworkers offered me his. He's like, "You want to go trick or treating? You can take him."
I'm so jealous. I wish I knew children to take trick-or-treating.
Any of children.
I feel like adult trick-or-treating.
For candy?
No, for booze, obviously.
Yeah, Alice, I don't get trick-or-treaters either because I have an apartment. And
Yeah,
kids
I
don't
live
come
in an
to
apartment
apartments
and
with candy.
kids don't come here.
I just live in the middle of nowhere, so nobody.
Right, the go-to trick or treaters.
Mm-hmm.
I live in an
People
entire
don't
country that doesn't celebrate Halloween.
That's true.
Why? Australia. Get your crap together.
It's kind of
I'll
like
send
a
you my
stubbornness thing. I feel like Australia is just a nation of people who are like, America's into Halloween, so we refuse to be. Like some kind of stubborn girl.
Listen, it's the best part of our country.
This is all we have left, okay?
We don't have much. Let us have this.
Go into bars to get candy.
What? That's amazing.
I didn't even think of that.
That's the way to get into a bar, underage guys. Trick or treat.
I guess I shouldn't be talking about booze when we have like people that are just so inappropriate all the
Advocating
time.
for them to drink underage. You're just saying you are of age and drinking.
I'm overage.
You know what I meant.
Well, I thought you meant booze as in like what ghosts do. So
Oh.
That's so cute.
No?
I'm not even underage and that's what I thought. Like
Like, that wasn't your team.
I was just thinking of, like, I came for the booze, but, like, yeah.
That's great.
My bad.
Yeah, I think I was allowed into a bar when I was younger, like, to, like, walk with my stepdad to get a pizza. I think it's only, like, you can't be served anything, but you can go into a bar.
Yeah. Because, like, bars, they also have, like, sometimes an arcade or, like, pool tables and stuff like
or,
that.
like, the one I went into when I was underage had, like, pizza.
Yeah.
Like, the best pizza in my little small town, so.
Yeah.
Came for the booze, staying for the booze. That was so good, Alice.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, Shirley Temples. We'd always have those, too.
That's
just
great.
like, but it's just like a cherry Coke, right?
Basically, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like
much.
Sprite.
But we'd always,
Yeah.
But we'd always feel
Yeah.
so cool being like, I'll have a Shirley Temple, like this kid at the bar.
Well, then. I feel like we've done a pretty solid wrap-up here.
I think we did.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. How long have we been on now?
Almost 2 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
An hour and like 45
Yep.
minutes.
This has been a long time. It went by fast, though. You guys are
It
so
really did.
interesting. Nothing.
And people in the chat were like, people in the chat were really helping us keep going.
Yeah, thank you everyone for being so entertaining.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
for showing up and for chatting.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a person when I show up at live shows who like doesn't even like chat. So congrats to
I'm
all
the
of you.
worst.
I appreciate you.
I'm one of those annoying people who's constantly messaging the chat in everyone else's live shows.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, thanks to Shanna.
Aww.
Aw.
This was so fun. I
This
talked
was
about
so
this
fun.
in my winners announcement video, but I like cried so many times this month just like watching people's videos.
You're just like the cutest thing on BookTube. Like,
I agree.
No, but I'm so happy that it went well this year, and I'm so grateful for you guys like helping host and be awesome.
Thanks for having
Well,
us.
thank you for
Thank you so much for letting me join your Sbooktober and test my readathon on you and everything. I'm
Well, thank you
really
for
grateful.
having your awesome readathon.
And hopefully I've, impressed you enough to let me join in and host again next year.
I mean, honestly, I feel like Spooktober should be flattered that Spooktacular happened in association with us.
Yeah, it's really exciting. This really cool readathon. The first time it happened was with our thing. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel flattered that I'm just even here. So
Me too.
I totally forgot until Spook Battles and you were telling us again how you became a judge. I totally forgot that you were just like not a judge the whole time. During Spook Battles, she was reminding us like she originally was just supposed to be like a movie host. And then she just like, we're like, oh yeah, we could fit you in. And I was like, I totally forgot about that. I can't imagine it without you. I can't imagine it without you this year. You were so great.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Not as great as you guys, but you know, I tried to keep up.
But I was glad because like you're also so organized, and I feel like this year I was pretty disorganized with everything, and I think you kept me on track at least a little bit.
I felt so unorganized because I'm like, it was just such a crazy after September. I'm finally starting to feel calm, but like after the hurricanes and a lot of other personal stuff happened, and then my entire like family is moving from Puerto Rico because they have no electricity, and like it's just so
Like your town.
It's just wild, and you know, then we have a murder. That's a whole nother thing. So
Oh man,
crazy. It has been a crazy month. So I felt so unorganized, and you guys like being a part of it like helps keep me less anxious. It was great. It was great. I love you all.
I feel like all of us were our own sort of hot messes in our own little ways, but together we managed to muddle through and make something that turned out pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, so it was definitely fun. Thank you guys all for participating. Also, like all of your videos and like coming to the movie nights and everything.
I was constantly amazed by how many people were at things. Like, I couldn't show up to everything, and there were so many people who like did everything.
Yeah,
so
I know.
True.
Like the first year when we were talking about doing Sbooktober, and I was like inviting people to be hosts, I was like, just keep in mind that like probably no one's gonna do this, and it might just be us by ourselves.
Right?
People are actually doing it.
Yeah, in my announcement video, I talked about like just how crazy it's been to see it grow from like year 1 to year 2. It was just like year 1 was way more successful than I thought it would be, but like just so many people came out and showed up this year, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There's so much love in the chat.
That's so great.
This is why I love.
Whoa.
All right, cool. I would like to, I'm going to go because I have some reading to do. I haven't met my reading goal, you guys, and I tabbed out my entire month because I got some things that need to be read. I was working all day earlier, so I'm happy to be here, but your girl needs to go read.
All right, so we should probably like sign off.
That's a good idea. It has been almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Bye, love.
So, yeah. Bye. Thank you guys for coming. Oh, Stacy just got here.
Oh.
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy.
I wish I could just send you my internet for the night.
Oh. Well.
All right. Well.
Lovely. All right. Well, I have to go. So.
All right.
This is
How do you
Sunday.
I don't know how to not live chat. How do you close live?
There's, if you like hover over your face, there's like a hang up, leave call button.
We're still live.
Or maybe not your face,
Okay.
like.
Oh, is it just me? Sorry, everyone can leave on that one, but I can shut it down if everyone wants to.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think
just
we're
shut it
good.
down at once and say bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.